Cirrhosis is a disease caused by prolonged alcohol abuse. Prolonged alcohol abuse causes cirrhosis of the... So cirrhosis is basically when scar tissue forms, when tissue of an organ is damaged. And it's probably fairly common knowledge that alcohol damages your liver, so causes cirrhosis of the liver. Then it says, give one reason why cirrhosis is described as a non-communicable disease. So communicable diseases are ones which are passed on from one host to the next. Infectious diseases, pathogens basically, diseases caused by pathogens, microbes, fungi, bacteria, viruses, protozoans. Non-communicable diseases are ones caused by lifestyle choices such as drinking, smoking, lack of exercise. So why is cirrhosis described as a non-communicable disease? And it's only for 1 mark. It's not caused by pathogens. It's caused by lifestyle choice. But just saying it's not caused by pathogens would get you the mark. Or it's not passed on from one person to the next would also get you the mark. Obesity increases the risk of a person developing cardiovascular disease. That's a disease that affects your heart and your blood vessels. Cardio means heart, vascular means blood vessels, like arteries and veins. Losing weight can reduce the risk of this disease occurring. Explain why exercise can cause weight loss. So, this is actually quite an involved question. Explain. So you may know that when you exercise, you need energy. You need that energy at a faster rate than normal. So there's a chemical reaction that happens in your cells which provides energy or supplies your body with energy, and that's called aerobic respiration, or just respiration. So it stands to reason that when you exercise, that chemical reaction which is happening in your body all the time to give you energy happens at a faster rate. Now, in that chemical reaction, glucose is broken down by oxygen to produce water and carbon dioxide as waste products, but most importantly, supplies energy. So, if you are exercising, remember, glucose is just a fuel, like any fuel, so fat is also a fuel. It's a concentrated store of energy. Oxygen can be used to break down fat, just like glucose. So, when we exercise, it increases the rate of respiration, which will use fat as a source of energy. Figure 2 shows a gastric band fitted to a stomach. Explain for 2 marks how a gastric band helps a person lose weight. So say what it does and then give a reason for why it helps them lose weight. So it's basically a restriction or constriction of the stomach. So you put this band around it, tighten it, and you can see it reduces the space in the stomach, the volume of the stomach. So that's what it does. It reduces the volume. And what does that mean? Well, it means that you will consume less food, and therefore you will have to use fat as an energy resource because you won't have enough food to help you carry out your daily active processes. So that's the idea. So it reduces volume of the stomach, 1 mark, that's what it does. And why? Why does it help? Because it reduces food intake. That will do, or you can go a bit more sophisticated, so stored fat is used up. BMI and waist to hip ratio can be used to find out if a person is obese. Obese means dangerously overweight. Figure 3 shows some data for 2 males. Male A and male B. Male A has a BMI of 27.3 and a waist to hip ratio of 0.85. If you're not sure, if you have basically a normal BMI would be 20 to 24 or 25. Above 25 is overweight, so between 25 and 30 is overweight, and above 30 would be obese. So BMI is calculated using the equation BMI equals mass in kilograms divided by height in meters squared. So if you look in this question, they've given you mass in kilograms here, and they've said height in meters over there. So calculate the BMI, and you also have to give your answer to 3 significant figures. So that's where another mark is coming from. So the first thing you do, and a lot of people found this difficult, is you do this bit first, all right? So you have to do 1.81 squared, and then you divide the mass by the square of the height. And then finally, you look at 3 significant figures. So let's look at how we did this answer. So you can see the square of the height is 3.2761. and then the mass divided by the square of the height equals 21.97773511, but it's for 3 significant figures, so you're only looking at the first 3 figures and the one afterwards, which affects this one. So you can see this number is greater than 5, or 5 and above. That means it will have a knock-on effect here. If it was less than 5, this could stay as 21.9, but being 7, this means this has to go up by 1 because we're rounding up. Now, because this is 9, the next number this could turn into is 10, but you can't write 21.10 like so. Rather, this is carried over here, so it becomes 22.0. And that is how you write the answer. You must write the 0 here because it's 3 significant figures. Next, figure 4 shows the interpretation of BMI values. So you can see that it tells you what I said before, 25 to 29 is overweight, 13 above is obese. It also tells you males with a waist to hip ratio above 0.9 are defined as abdominally obese. This means obese around the abdomen area, around where your vital organs are, so around your stomach and that area. Explain what the BMI and waist to hip ratio for male A shows about his weight distribution. So firstly, we know, being 27 on the BMI, that they are overweight but they're not obese. That's the first thing we can say. That'll get you a mark. But they're also they're not abdominally obese because they have a waist to hip ratio of 0.85. So you could say BMI shows he is overweight, and waist to hip ratio show he is not abdominally obese. You have to say both 1 mark. Therefore, the weight distribution is not around the abdomen, so it doesn't have a lot of weight around the abdomen, although you might want to watch it because it's approaching 0.9. And therefore not around the vital organs. That's where the other mark comes from. So the brackets you don't have to write, but you would get a mark for writing that as well instead of this point.